கேமரா மாதிரி இருக்கா? கேமரா மாதிரி இருக்கா? lag இருக்கு. சரி, okay, anyway. So good morning. We shall discuss the current affairs issues relating to lag இருக்கு. I mean the current affairs issues which are relating to 2020. So good morning. We shall prelims. What are the possible questions that may be asked in certain issues? We shall discuss the current affairs issues relating to lag இருக்கு. Let us I mean the current affairs issues which are relating to 2020. So good morning. We shall prelims. What are the possible questions that may be asked in Article 75? We shall discuss the current affairs issues relating to lag. Let us government wins the no confidence vote or confidence vote. I mean the current affairs issues which are relating to 2020. So good morning. So this was prelims. What are the possible questions that may be asked in Article 75? So we shall discuss the here when it comes to issues relating to lag. Let us government wins the no confidence vote or confidence vote. I mean the current affairs issues which are relating to 2020. So good morning. So this was prelims. What are the possible questions along with no confidence motion asked in Article 75? So we shall discuss the here when it comes to no confidence issues relating to lag. Let us government wins emerge. Where is it? No confidence vote or confidence vote. I mean what is the current affairs issues which are relating to 2020? So good morning. So this was prelims. What are the possible questions along with no confidence motion asked in Article 75? So we shall discuss the here when it comes to no confidence issues relating to which has now become an important wins emerge. Where is it? No confidence vote or confidence vote. I mean what is the current affairs issues which are relating to 2020? So good morning. So this was prelims. What are the possible questions along with no confidence motion asked in Article 75? So we shall discuss three aspects here when it comes to no confidence issues relating to which has now become. Sometimes it is referred to as wins emerge. Where is it? What is no confidence vote? I mean what is no confidence motion? What is the difference? That we will have to understand. Okay, let us try to understand what it is all about. See, basically Article 75 of the Constitution, right? Article 75 of the Constitution provides for this particular, I mean from where does it emerge? I mean it is coming from Article 75. Let us see what does Article 75 say. Look at the provisions of Article 75. So Article 75 is something related to the provisions relating to ministers. Of this, the most important one is Article 75, Clause 3. Look at Article 75, Clause 3. It says, the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of People. So what does this mean? What do you mean with here you have to understand 2-3 concepts additionally also. Supplementary concepts are emerging. Supplementary concepts are what is collective responsibility? What are the aspects involved in collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers to the House of People? So these are certain questions that can be supplementarily extrapolated from this news. That part we shall discuss later. First we shall discuss what is this no confidence motion, from where does it emerge. See, the concept of no confidence motion and confidence votes emerges because of this particular clause of Article 75. The entire Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to House of People, which means as long as they enjoy or as long as they are collectively, see, you have to read this along with clause 2. The minister shall hold office during the pleasure of the president. As long as they are collectively responsible to the House of People, the president shall not withdraw his pleasure. The outcome of this collective responsibility to House of People means, in practical sense, it means the Council of Ministers must enjoy the majority support of the Lok Sabha or the House of People. Alright. What is the method by which the majority support of House of People is ensured under the Constitution of India? The method is, there are several methods by which they will be collectively responsible to House of People, meaning what are the method? There are several procedures in the Constitution or in the parliamentary procedures in India by which the Council of Ministers will prove their majority support in the House of People. For instance, there are other aspects, because see, they have already asked few questions relating to this in a different way. Which of the following amounts to the passage of no confidence motion? Which of the following amounts to the passage of no confidence motion? Those are the procedures by which the collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers to the House of People is ensured, which in turn means, which ensures that the Council of Ministers enjoy the majority support of the House of People. For example, passage of the budget. Right? Passage of the budget. When it is budget, first is finance bill. The second is appropriation bill. So without finance bill being passed or without the appropriation bill being passed, the government will be devoid of finance. Finance bill deals with the government's revenue, how the government can accrue its revenue. Appropriation bill deals with the authorization of the government to spend the money. Second, passage of carrying an adjournment motion. Against the government by the opposition party. Thirdly, passing of a disapproval of policy cut motion. If a disapproval of, there are three types of cut motions: policy cut, economy cut, token cut. Of the three cut motions, if the disapproval of policy cut motion is passed, the policy behind, the principle behind the expenditure or the demand for grant is disapproved by the Parliament, which means it amounts to the passage of, it amounts to stopping of the demand for grant, which means the budget is not passed. So the government cannot function. That case, it will be considered as a passage of a no confidence motion. Okay. What is this no confidence motion then? What is all about this no confidence motion? Which means the Parliament, the House of People, is expressing that it has lost the confidence in the government. The House of People, the majority of the members of the House of People, expressly declare that they don't have confidence in the Council of Ministers, which means the President has to withdraw his pleasure, and therefore the Council of Ministers have to go. Either after the passage of the no, so after the passage of the no confidence motion, the government will be dissolved. The government is dissolved. After that, the President, it comes to the President. The President will again look out for the alternative government. If there was any chance of forming any alternative government, if there was any other party or alliance of parties which can form the government in order to provide and not to maintain the stability and continuity, or otherwise he has to dissolve the Lok Sabha and call for elections. Right? So generally, The no confidence motion, the characteristic features, no confidence motion is moved by the opposition. The opposition will move against the incumbent government. Secondly, the no confidence motion, if it is moved and did not get carried, then it cannot be moved before the expiry of 6 months after the moving of the first motion. So, 1st of January of a particular year, no confidence motion is moved against the government survives. The government defeats it, opposition could not win the carry on the motion against the government, which means the opposition cannot bring in another motion before 6 months. For moving the motion, at least 1/10 of the members of the House of People must support the proposal. All these things have been asked in the prelims already. All these things have been already asked in the prelims. What are the characteristic features of a no confidence motion? They have asked it in the statement type of questions. Fine. So far so good. Now coming to the confidence vote. Let us come to the confidence vote. What is this confidence vote? See, confidence vote is not given anywhere in the constitution or in the rules of procedures of the parliament. Confidence vote, in fact, in India is a convention. The confidence vote in India is practiced as a convention. The first ever confidence vote that was moved was in 1952 in the Madras presidency, legislature of the Madras presidency. The confidence vote from then onwards became a convention and is now being used in parliament as well as state legislatures. A doubt as to whether the Council of Ministers enjoy the confidence of the majority support of the Lok Sabha or not, then the President can direct the Prime Minister to prove his majority by seeking a confidence vote. So the difference is, while no confidence motion will be moved by the opposition, the confidence vote will be moved by ruling government, the ruling Council of Ministers. The Prime Minister will seek. Will approach the House and he will place before the House explaining all that what his government has done, and he will request the House to express its trust on him. That is why it is sometimes referred to as trust vote. Right? The main issue here is, until the last government, 2017, immediately after the Tamil Nadu, the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, J. Jayalalitha, passed away, the new ADMK government came into power, and Edappadi Palaniswamy was installed as Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. About what should be the majority that the confidence vote must be carried on with was a question. Until then, it was believed that the confidence vote must also have the support of majority of the total membership of the House, and by majority of not less than 2/3 of the members present and voting. Right? Majority of the total membership of the House, and by majority of not less than 2/3 of the members present and voting. This was, but in 2017, it was made very clear that for the passage of a confidence vote, a simple majority is enough. This is a prelims question, remember. Right up. So when the no confidence motion is carried, the ruling government, the sitting government, the incumbent government will go. The Prime Minister has to resign. In case of state, the Chief Minister has to resign. If the Chief Minister did not resign, the governor will dismiss him. In case of union government, the president will dismiss the prime minister. Whereas in the confidence vote, if it is carried, the government sustains. All right, the government will sustain. So very simple, very simple thing here. So look here. The booklet, we have the polity booklet. Polity booklet, we have this. Under the chapter of legislative, parliamentary, union parliament chapter, legislative motions. Adjournment motion, if it is passed. If an adjournment motion is carried against the government in the Lok Sabha, it amounts to the loss of the confidence of the government. It means subsequently, if a no confidence motion is moved, the government would fail to defend itself. That is the meaning. That's why adjournment motion is considered to be passage of a no confidence motion. Right? The next you see. This is the difference. While a confidence vote is moved by government, no confidence motion is moved by opposition. Right? If it is carried, the government survives, confidence vote. If the no confidence motion is carried, the government fails. It is practiced as a convention, whereas no confidence motion is provided in the rules of procedures of the government. For confidence vote, no ground is required, prescribed, whereas for no confidence motion, there is a ground that it can be moved only on specific grounds. Why the opposition is losing confidence on the government? It has to mention it. And once it is carried, so other condition is same. See, for example, but for this one condition, the fourth condition, the confidence vote and no confidence, for the confidence vote, we follow the procedures prescribed for no confidence motion. And another difference after 2017 is, for confidence vote, we have only simple majority and not special majority. All right. And look at this. Once moved and not carried against the government, the motion can be moved only after a time period of 6